I had some plastic surgery done because my old face couldn't fit in this physical reality, apparently.
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
Also, I just got screwed in the most interesting way possible. So you probably recognize that I shamelessly stole from Neil Cicierega near the end of my first Degenerate review. Now, if Neil wanted the video to be taken down because of the inclusion of the music, I probably would have been fine with it, because he's a dang old cutie. But do you know who decided they had the rights to this highly edited remix of a song that is composed of far less than 25% of the original artistic work?
I use the word artistic here loosely because Oasis is a trash band!
'Twas Merlin, the shackle-grabbing wizard!
The irony has almost taken on a physical manifestation.
Enough ranting. By the way, today's video is not about video games, believe it or not. I also promised to be a little less aggressive than usual. I'm not mad about anything per se, just depressed. How depressed, you may ask?
All of time is falling away into the void. Sheol has opened up her bosom and we walk into it, our eyes pale and milky.
I'm kind of upset because two of my favorite artists, Stephen Gamble and Brett Helquist, have been thrust into some unfortunate business. Both have done great work on their respective projects, and my own drawings are deeply inspired by both artists.
That is, when the drawings aren't being furry crap. Ooh!
A while ago, their work crossed paths through a book from my childhood. The Scary Story series. I think a lot of people fondly remember or dread these books in the back of their mind. Probably both. Recently, the books were re-released with new art. It stirred up a bit of ill will. People were saying that the new art by Brett Helquist was not as effective or powerful as the original art by Stephen Gamble, and I'm sorry, Brett, but I have to agree. And it's not that Brett's drawings are bad. They're great, it's just that this book cannot survive on its own. I want to make something clear. The stories in these books are terrible. Look, calm down. They're just a bunch of abridged ghost stories. The writing is intentionally below a 5th grade reading level. It barely takes any time to read the stories or to digest them. To be honest, the writing is only there to provide a backdrop for the incredible art. Stephen Gamble was a master of the surreal. I can stare at his work and just become lost in existential dread and horror. I mean, look, what is this? Is this going to kill me? All of Gamble's works can only be described as masterpieces individually. If you bought this book because you wanted to be scared, you darn well were going to be scared. Likewise, Helquist is also a great artist. Each of his characters seethe personality. I have to wonder if Dishonored or Bioshock Infinite's character art style was inspired by his illustrations in some... Oh wait, I promised I wouldn't talk about video game... But their art styles accomplish two very different goals. Helquist's work is meant to accompany decent or clever writing. He typically has very sleek, beautiful lines in his work that have excellent framing, that helps visually convey story ideas in well-written literature. That's not to say that his illustrations aren't good on their own. I like looking at everything Helquist has done. But in the same way that his work becomes better when it's associated with good writing, it also begins to suffer when it's accompanied with bad writing. And, as I mentioned earlier, the Scary Stories books are not examples of great writing. That's not fair to Alvin Schwartz, the author. I think it's fairer to say that his works are not complexly written. Let's do a little experiment. I'm going to read you an excerpt from the book. She jumped out of bed, pulled the cover off Jane, and screamed. Jane's head was gone! Somebody had cut off her head! Wow.
How spooky.
You can tell it's kind of campy, right? It's the grade school equivalent of saying,
And then a skeleton popped out!
Now, I'm going to show you two images. The first is by Brett Helquist. It's not bad. It's framed almost mathematically perfectly. There are several clear horizons separated by Susanna's arm, her head, and Jane's bed. Each line sort of simulates an ocean wave. The character is also just drawn well, with deep, somber eyes. But it's not very scary. Now, here's Gamble's work. Oh god! What is that? What is that up top?
The spheres of reality are separating.
The skies bleed as death himself quakes in fear.
But yeah, Hellquist's work is just too comfy. He makes me want to snuggle in with some cutie pie and maybe take a little nap. Yay. Bedtime reading. Not boring, but relaxing and refined. Gamel, on the other hand, illustrates in a way that makes you want to run into the strong, well-defined arms of someone you trust, begging them to keep you safe in their bosom. But on the inside, you know no matter how tightly those muscular arms hold you, you might not truly be safe. Gay. Alright, what was my point again? Oh yeah, Hellquist's work is great, Gamel's work is great, but Gamel is the one who should be in the Scary Stories book, because they just can't survive without him. Not even exaggerating. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing and smash that bell. I have another gaming thing coming up soon, but truth be told, I hate video games, because they were invented by the devil and socialists.
I'll drag you down to Sheol with me, you filthy commies!